There are tons of Sonic games out there, some good and some bad, but in this video I will be counting down the Sonic games that are the best in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10 is Sonic and the Black Light. Now I know this is a very controversial game in the Sonic franchise, but I honestly really enjoyed it. The gameplay with Sonic and his sword may seem unnecessary to some, but it is still amazing. Not much else to say about this, other than it is a great game that I would recommend to any Wii or Wii U owner. Number 9 is Sonic CD. Man, this game is great. It's an amazing soundtrack, at least the Japanese version, and its time-traveling mechanic in this game is also very creative. So the story is that while Sonic is going to see Little Planet, which comes every once a year, he is surprised to find that Dr. Robotnik has invaded the Little Planet, so it is up to Sonic to stop him, while destroying his robots, but for some reason he decided to use flowers to turn into robots instead of actual animals. Weird. Anyway, I would definitely recommend this game to any fan of platformers. Number 8 is Sonic the Hedgehog 1991. Well, obviously, it's the first game in the franchise, so it has to be on the list, right? Well, it is a great game, but the reason it's so low on the list is because of Marble Zone and Labyrinth Zone, which really tire me out tremendously. However, the great sense of speed and mostly solid level design still make for a great game that you should try out. Number 4 is Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Sonic 4 Episode 2. Okay, hear me out for a second. Truth be told, I actually like the Sonic 4 duology. Sure, things like the physics, level design, and mechanics are not really on par with a technically sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and they added the homing attack for some reason, but I still really enjoyed it, with its reasonable speed and still decent platforming. These two titles are still solid in my opinion, and I would actually recommend them. Do you guys remember Sonic 3D Blast? I did. It was kind of bad in my opinion, but that's for another day. Yeah, so Sonic 3D Blast wasn't a really great 3D Sonic game, but you know what was? Yeah. Number 6 is Sonic Adventure, which was a launch title for the Sega Dreamcast, and a great one at that. The story is that Dr. Robotnik smashes the Master Emerald apart, releasing the mutant Chow known as Chaos, and a girl named Tikal. Dr. Robotnik wants to give Chaos the 7 Chaos Emeralds, so he will become Perfect Chaos, where he is much bigger, stronger, and will be quote-unquote unstoppable. So Sonic and friends need to stop him while getting flashbacks of the echidna's history from Tikal. May I just add that this game's soundtrack is amazing, one of the best in Sonic history in my opinion. With all that said, I would definitely say that this is a solid title that you should play. So Sonic Adventure was a great game, but you know how they topped it? By releasing Sonic Adventure 2 in 2001. This game was much more action-based than its prequel, bringing newcomers Shadow and Rouge the Bat. Shadow was created by Professor Gerald Robotnik, Dr. Eggman's grandfather, and he was good friends with Maria, who was killed during the raid. Outright, Shadow teams up with Eggman after he releases him to destroy the Earth with the Ark, which Gerald was originally going to destroy the Earth with for revenge for his granddaughter's death, Maria. All they need is the 7 Chaos Emeralds to power the Ark, so Sonic and friends again must stop them with speed, mech, and treasure hunting stages. The speed stages using Sonic and Shadow, the mech stages using Eggman and Tails, and the treasure hunting stages using Knuckles and Rouge the Bat, a gun agent sent to study Shadow undercover. The speed stages are obviously the best, and the mech stages are good but not amazing, and the treasure hunting stages are okay, which is why SA2 is not higher on the list. Regardless, I would still recommend this game because it is still just great. Number 4 is Sonic Unleashed. This game is very controversial, but I liked it. The gameplay was fast, at least for the daytime stages, and the nighttime stages, while not perfect, are still pretty good. And it did add the characters Chip and Dark Gaia, and Chip is actually pretty good. Not much else to say other than it is still a great game and extremely underrated, and in fact probably the most underrated Sonic game of all time. Number 3 is Sonic 2. Well, of course this had to be added on the list. It added Tails, the Spin Dash, Mecha Sonic, the Death Egg, new special stages, 7 Chaos Emerald, and much more. This game was everything a Sonic game should be. The reason why it's not higher is because the special stages are kinda stupid and annoying, and the final boss design is kinda bad. But overall, this game is just amazing, and I would definitely say to check it out. 2 is Sonic Generations. This game was just awesome. You met classic Sonic in an all-new 2D adventure. In this game, you can play as classic or modern Sonic in certain stages. Why? Well, the story is that classic Sonic is running through Green Hill Zone, and then runs into this mysterious monster known as the Time Eater, who rips time and space because Eggman was controlling him the whole time. I should have said spoiler alert, but I don't care because we gotta get this. So yeah, while modern Sonic anyway, is having his birthday party, the Time Eater comes and kidnaps all his friends. And then Sonic meets up with his classic self, so it's up to them to stop the Time Eater and save the world and all that stuff. Classic Sonic's physics in this game are really good. Of course, they're not exactly like your Genesis days, but it's still pretty good. In fact, this game was so good that I think it's only beaten by one other. Before we hit number 1, I just want to go through some quick honorable mentions that are still at least okay games but couldn't make the cut. The Sonic Advance trilogy. This is a great trilogy, but the reason I couldn't make this list was because I just found the classic Sonic games to be better. Sonic Lost World 3DS. Yeah, this game wasn't that great. It was an okay game, but the level design and the time it takes to complete the stages just becomes tedious after a while. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Yeah, I mean, it's a good game, don't get me wrong, but I just couldn't find it as enjoyable as the other Sonic games in this list. Sonic Rivals. Okay, I used to play this game a lot as a kid, but the thing is I used to play a lot of the other games on this list as a kid. And replaying it today, I didn't find it as enjoyable as the other options on this list. Sonic Rush. A lot of people like this game, and some people say it's kinda bad. For me, I thought it was an okay game. However, some people said it's like fantastic and one of the best Sonic games of all time, even making it into the top 5. I mean, really? Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but I wouldn't expect this to be superly amazing. I do find this game to be kind of overrated. If you're at all familiar with the Sonic franchise, you would know right here and right now what the next game is going to be. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense. My number 1 favorite Sonic game of all time is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. What do you say about this game? It's just pure awesomeness combined into one game. One of my favorite games of all time, at least in the top 5. In this game, there's so much stuff added. The special rings, Knuckles, like Eggman, and the Master Emerald, like Hypersonic by getting the Super Emeralds. I'm just speechless right now because I can't talk about everything about this game. There's just so much to talk about. There's even a save feature. Yeah, that wasn't in 1 and 2, but now there is. Of course, nowadays it doesn't matter because it's 2017. We have a bunch of stuff to save into, but back then that was a huge deal. I mean, this game is just so amazing. I would definitely recommend this game to anyone. Even the special stages were improved. Now you don't have to get 50 rings and touch a checkpoint or 50 rings and get to the end of the stage. Now, you just find a giant ring in the stage, increasing replay value. In fact, replay value is one of the best things about this game. I don't want to go on for too long, but this game is just a masterpiece. I would recommend it to absolutely anyone. It is of the definition of what a Sonic game needs to be. Do yourself a favor and play this game. You won't regret it. And with that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my other videos. Bye bye.